In 2017, a little game called Fortnite took the world by storm with its unique multiplayer battle royale experience. This bright and animated title allowed for players to join up in a random island of 100 people and see who will be the last person standing, given weapons and the ability to build fortresses. But the real icing of the cake on this beautiful game was that the game was at the low price of free. So even if you were behind on the bills or had just spent your whole check on whatever you're doing in 2017, you could still enjoy this game with your friends without breaking the bank like you would for any other AAA title. However, if you did have a little spending money left over and really enjoyed the game of Fortnite, there was the option to get something called a Battle Pass, which made the overall experience of the game even better, as if you leveled up in the Battle Pass, you gained exclusive rewards and skins that you couldn't get playing the game vanilla. But it sounds like something that's game changing and is needed to enjoy the experience of the game though, right? Like all of these rewards and skins, you'd pretty much have to buy the Battle Pass in order to get the full version of Fortnite, is what it sounds like. But you see, that's the catch. All of it is completely optional, and if you decided to play the game for, completely free, you would have the exact same experience as someone who paid for the Battle Pass. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was an introduction of the infamous Battle Pass that hasn't not been in a major multiplayer game since Fortnite. I'm not even kidding. They found a way to put a Battle Pass into Diablo 4. It's gotten wicked. This is one of gaming's latest trends that splits a lot of people on whether they like it or not due to the fact that it's so common now. Every gaming company has its own variation of the Battle Pass, with some good and some just existing for the sake of suckling whatever money can be obtained from doing so. But what they all have in common, or at least should have in common, is the fact that they aren't required for the game. So with that, I want to use this information that we have now and take a look at our modern multiplayer games and ultimately see if the downward spiral of these titles' quality is due to the inclusion of this damn near played out feature being the Battle Pass. So I already explained to you the Battle Pass's origin, or at least what it was when it was first popularized in mainstream gaming a few years back. So let's now talk about what it's turned into with modern games and how gaming companies use it today. So the standard price or in-game currency worth to obtain the Battle Pass for most games is usually around $10, which really hasn't changed. It's always been like that. You do got a couple of games that like to be fancy and use weird numbers, like Destiny 2's $12 that they recently changed it to for no real reason, but the average price is still 10 big ones. So as far as affordability goes, I think the $10 price or anything close to it isn't really that bad, especially for the free games when you consider the amount of content packed into these passes, which could range from a few dozen items to close to 100 or even more. And that segues to the next topic of the Battle Pass, arguably the most important, which is the content. Now, the most common thing that you can earn in these Battle Passes are usually skins for your multiplayer character, whether it's avatar skins, gun skins, vehicle skins, player profile skins. It's all usually new customization options that you couldn't otherwise get, since again, they can only put things in here that doesn't directly affect gameplay. The only thing about this that may affect you and possibly coerce you to buy the pass is seeing a skin that you might want but can't get unless you have the pass. You never know who can only feel accomplished in life if they can kill people as Kevin Durant. You just can't judge. But aside from customization, they can also include in-game currency rewards, but those usually can only be used for buying customization options or just saving up to buy the next Battle Pass. Another added incentive for buying the passes is the fact that each pass only lasts for the game's rotational seasons, which are usually a few months. Now there are some games that have a new season every month or so, but putting out that much new content that fast, especially with stacked Battle Passes, usually don't work for long, so seasons that last like 3 or more months are usually Battle Passes worth thinking about buying. So content wise, the Battle Passes usually have the things the player would want if they enjoyed the game enough. So that is the basis of what Battle Passes are today in multiplayer games, and it brings us back to the original question of whether this is the cause of the lack of good online games. So do I think that? Well, what I do think is that this mechanic has been played out to the ground and then some. We've seen so many Battle Passes over the years with so many variations at this point that it can't even be comprehended. So there's little thrill to leveling up through a battle pass anymore unless there's a certain item that you're grinding for. And even though the price of a battle pass is relatively cheap, with so many games using the same mechanic, if you play multiple of them, the price will add up and you'll pay the price of a whole new game in just a few months from getting extra content in your favorite multiplayer game. So for some, that might not be the ideal situation. So battle passes aren't the main issue with multiplayer games today, far from it since they are required, but definitely a factor when it comes to the overall decline, since it's a feature that's seen time and time again. Overall, I think gaming companies need to focus less on the battle pass and more on just making the core game even better, because if there's a really good game that people enjoy playing, that'll likely make people more willing to buy into a battle pass. But hey man, that's just my opinion on the whole thing, Hopefully we see, more better battle passes and more better games, because while these features are really cool, they're only going to be cared about if the game is worthwhile. So what do you guys think about the battle pass, man? Feel free to leave a comment down below, and as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe, check out the Patreon if you're interested, and I'll see you on the next one.